Okay, hello, Assalamualaikum. Hope you all are doing good. Today I'm going to introduce how to work on an Excel sheet. So this introductory session would be on making a spreadsheet on Excel. So previously I was trying to do that on my laptop, but it was having some issue on connecting with the Zoom. So I'm right now using a PC that does not support video, but I hope the screen is visible and I am also audible. So here is actually a data that is actually a dummy data. So in this data, there are few students, as you can see here, and there are just different subjects, 4 subjects: Urdu, Islamic, English, and Maths, and then there is total percentage. And then we have a criteria set for pass and fail, and then we have grades, and then we have count. So in order to make this kind of data, first we have to, let's select a new sheet, spreadsheet number 2. Okay, let me introduce it with that there are certain technicalities in using Excel. For example, this block, which right now is being selected, is known as cell. It is having a particular address. So there are actually a number of columns starting from A till onwards, and there are rows starting from 1 till onwards. So each cell has a specific address. For example, this cell which I am residing right now in is having an address A1. This one would be column C and row 4. Now look at this one. This is column 5 and row 8. So this is the whole spreadsheet, and there are there are different options popping up in here, which can be used and as per needs. So let's get started. So in order to create a data, for example, I am supposed to make a sheet of student scores in different subjects. It's just like a report card, which we usually manually do. So it's a kind of an electronic report card in which I'm going to put some data of the students' names. So let's start. Student's name. Okay, student's name. Okay, I have written it. I can change it by selecting it and doing the right click and going into the format cells. In the format cell, you have there are plenty of options. In the number tab, right now the category of the cell is gender. It can be number. If it is a number, then it would only take them generic values of the content present in the cell. So it could be text only. It could be special. Special is a combination of all and different others. Then there is this font tab. Calibri selected, regular size and fonts and so on. Border selection, text fill. Right now it is just in non-border automatic outline. But if I want to have some kind of solid borders, different just breakthrough borders, and I can do that as well. So, okay, if I just double click it, this will show the overall content, but I want this text to be adjusted. So what I'm going to do, I'm going in the format tab, and then I am in the alignment tab, I'm going to select text wrap. And the text wrap does what? It actually, adjusts the text in the whole cell like this. So I hope this looks kind of good as compared to the previous one. So I'm using a random data saying this is student number 1. I want it till 10. I want 10 students data. So I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to drag this cursor till here. Now I'm getting the student's name 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10. Now moving on to the next column, I'm going to select some 4 subjects. For example, Islamiyat, that would be comprising of marks 50. And Urdu, again 50 marks. And then I'll be having English, again 50 marks. And then I'll be taking Maths, 50 marks, okay? So this is a criteria that we have set. In order to put the values of students, we can, put the real values, the actual data, but I can use this, take an advantage of this function and present in the Excel by using it. such that I can generate a random data, dummy data. So in order to do that, I'm going to use this function rand. As I select this, you can get help on this by clicking on it. It will kind of show you how does it work, this highlight thing. And it operates in both offline and online mode. So it is giving the overall description of the random function. So this is the syntax, random, and the round brackets that takes the input arguments. So in the input arguments usually contains, the values you want to add in. Since I want a random generated data, so I'm going to close the bracket. It is giving me this value. I want this column to be filled up throughout the student 10. So here I go, value getting from 0 to 1. But since this seems quite illogical because, the max of marks of the students in Islam, it could not be 0.97 out of 50. So in order to make it a good logical data, I am going to, scale up till 50, scaling up on 50 on the scale of 50. So here I go. Now it looks justified. Same I am going to do with Urdu and maths with these subjects. So I'm going to drag them and push them further. Here I have generated the data for students. But the problem is that, as I click on these values, they keep on changing. See, the data is updated. I don't want this math to be continued forever whenever I'm working on the data. So I'm going to do one thing, and that is I'm going to, first, I want to get rid of these decimal values because this seems, quite ambiguous. So I'm going to use another function that is round function, and I can just put the whole random function in this string and round it up to, decimal points, whatever, however much I want the decimal points right now. I want it to be, 0 at the 0 decimal place. That is round figure. So I am selecting this. See, the data has converted. I can either do this option, or the simpler way is use the tab, which is right on the top of this toolbar. Okay. I can do this. Okay, this is I have done. Now, in the number tab over here, you can see there is this decreasing decimal option and there is this increasing decimal point. So I'm going to decrease the decimal position one by one till it gets me a round figure. Here I have this required value, desired value actually. Now I want to apply this format to all the columns. Now, as I told you, since I have to work on this data, I need it to be constant, fixed to a certain value. So I don't want it to be, being swinging around to different values. So I'm going to do this copy thing, Control C, and then pasting it. When I'm pasting it, I have multiple options here. This is, if I just want the values, simple numeric values, formulas, transpose, text, formattings. So the thing that I need most here is I just want to play with the numbers. So I'm going to paste in numbers only so that it gets fixed. So you see over here in this tab, right, the one that I'm highlighting it is giving me for any cell a particular value. And that is what I want. So moving on to the next required thing that we want to calculate the total, and then percentage, and then do some grading. And before grading, we want to first check pass and fail. And then grades, and then count. So these three things that we need to do. In order to do the total, I am going to use another function, which is sum function, SUM, sum function. What does it do? It takes the whole string and sums it. For example, if I want to do the sum from Urdu till maths of student A, so I'm going to check on this cell till maths. So first string, colon, till maths. So the whole row of these cells is selected. I have now the sum of student 1 in all the 4 areas. I want it to be applied into all the students. Here I have. Similarly, in order to calculate the percentage, I'm going to again, so the idea of is of using the function is first you have to put the equal sign so that it recognizes that you're going to use a function. Otherwise it won't take it. It will take it's just a simple text string. So equals, let's check if we have some percentage formula in the library. So the percentage formula is not here. There are some other options, percentile rank. So we don't require that. So we can just numerically do some maths here and put, make our own formula. I want this total to calculate the percentage divided with the total, total amount. Total amount would be, total marks are actually, since 50 marks for 4 subjects, it gives you 200 in total. Again, equals total divided by 200, which I have fixed multiplied with 100 to get the percentage. I have the percentage value. Okay, now it's up to me whether I want to round them off or just take the simple values. But remember, this percentage column has a formula. So again, I'll be using this in determining whether the students are fail or pass or their grades. So I have to first, convert, arrange or, reorganize this data so that I get the value only. Otherwise, the functions or the operations won't work on it. So I am inserting by right-clicking another column here. So going to copy and paste that data so that I get a pure generic values only. No other things in between. Do not Control V, just copy and then paste in the value section. So you can see here, I have just a value. Over here, I have this whole function here. So I hope this is clear up till now. In order to determine whether the students are pass or fail, I have set some criteria, and that's the general criteria we usually do in our schools or different places. For example, we are setting the criteria that 40% of the students, the students who are below 40 in their total are fail. So in order to make this condition work, we are going to apply some conditions. So for that, we are going to use the formula or a function of if. So what does this if do? It, over here, it says it checks whether a condition is met and returns a value if it is true, and if not, that it will return the value for false. So first, in order to do that, I have to follow its syntax. So whenever I'm putting this round bracket, it shows me the complete syntax. So syntax says, after the bracket, I have to write the logical test, the condition which should be met. So the condition is, if this value in H2 is greater than 39, then it should be termed as quote pass unquote fail. Else, comma says else F for fail. So this is what I have done. So it shows, since the marks are greater than 40, so it should be passed, and it is showing pass. I want to apply this technique to all the members of this column. I have analyzed the numeric value into gradings or into some remarks. Now again, I wish to determine the grades, and the criteria for setting the grades is the same one which you usually do in our schools. If, for example, this value, sorry, I just missed it out, is, for example, if the student's marks are greater than 69, then it should be A grade. Greater than 59, it should be B grade. It's greater than 49, C grade, and greater than 39, D grade. Else, it should be fail. So I'm going to write this big function by making loops. So this is the first loop, which will be testing this H2, and checking that if the value is greater than 59, comma, quoted A grade, Okay, comma. If I'm putting the another condition, because I want to still check whether it lies in B grade or not. Again, H2 is greater than 59. Sorry, it should be 69. The first one should be 69. Then write it. So I can do one thing instead of, writing all this thing, I can copy simply and paste it so that it saves me time. Write it B grade. If it is less than, sorry, if it is greater than 49, C, if, again, D, and after D will be setting the criteria for fail. 69, 49, and for D grade, make it 39. Comma, else condition fail. Okay, this is, kind of stuck. So now close a bracket, first bracket, second bracket, third bracket, and the fourth one. It should match, its corresponding brackets. So how many brackets should be there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is it. It's working. A, comma, if it is B, if this is, okay, I have missed a comma here. This is B grade. B grade. Fine. Grade. Okay, let me check this. Whether this is with me because of now checking this. The conditions are met. The working. Oh my God, it's so, the idea remains the same. These students are plus 52 was appearing now. It's original data. Now, sorry, that's it. Another thing that I want to count if fail students are there. So select. I would be checking. Obviously, I'll be checking these now from here till the last one, and I'll be searching criteria. I probably have the used. Okay. So in this, be using, hold on for a while. Video column is having some work. Insert a column. Copy that. My work. Sorry. This. Now I'm going to change it a bit. Okay. Last. Okay. There are total 3. Here, this is second F, and this is the third F. So I'm pretty done with the thing. Now I can use this another feature of Excel. I can describe this whole graph. Select this whole graph, for example, till and making a graph so that I get a pictorial value of the data that is presented. So I can use in the insert column, go to bars, select the bar chart, or for example, see here, Islamiyat is showing up, Urdu is showing up, English, maths, and total is showing up along with the student name 1, 2, 3, 4, and till 10. 11 was showing because I have selected this blank column as well. Otherwise, I would have gotten the right option. So here it is. You can get it in this tab. You have further designs, further styles. You want this kind of data, or you want this black data. For example, if this looks good, or you want in this manner. So there are plenty of options. Now, other than that, you can also do one thing, that instead of using this, you can also use a pie chart. So for that, first I need to, kind of select the data first, keep this chart aside. Again, using this, I can make a pie chart on some particular format. Here I have an insert, go to this pie chart, 2D pie chart, 3D pie chart. So I'm using this criteria. So it is giving me the student 8 data of Islamiyat, value 58, and it is showing it is total 18% of the total. So for a single subject, it is showing me the overall pie chart. So I can either use this. This is known as infographics. That is, I am giving you information through the help of graphics or through data. I can also use the good feature of this is Microsoft is that I can integrate this Excel sheet with the PowerPoint plan presentation as well. So in this slide, if I want to have this graph copied, so I can simply use it and present it in the form of presentations or give it. So this is a good point of Microsoft Office. actually that it is integrated in all of the other apps and tools that comes with it. Now I want to do one thing. I want to save this data and print it. So in this file folder, go to print. Now, right now I have since selected this pie chart only. So this is showing me the pie chart only in the print section. So I can deselect it by pressing the escape button. Now print the overall chart, overall Excel sheet. So since this Excel sheet was, kind of coming up in 2 pages, because it was a large and data file. So I wanted to be scaled down to 1 page. I can, do this fit sheet on 1 page. Now the overall values and the data is appearing on 1 page. I can do this portrait orientation, or I can use it landscape orientation would be, enlarged. Then I can change the paper type, letter, or A1, or sorry, A4. And I can do also with the margining thing. I can, use narrow margining. If I have, some more data, I can use this as well. So hope this is clear to you all. Now I can do one more thing, that I can insert and use. Did you see that in the print option, the Excel sheet was not appearing with the borders? I can add the borders. In home button, you're having below this Calibri and font, you're having this option borders. So I can use borders with different options. For example, I want all borders, thick borders, outside and inside. Now I can print it, and then I can do this. So that's it. So there are plenty of options to be explored in, in insert page layout and insert area, in data representation. You can use the other line charts as well, like this. You can also play with the bucket and, color it, add alignment, change alignment, do it center aligned. So all those things could be explored. For example, if I select this one and do it center align, the text would be center aligned. And it would be like that. For example, now this 40 is in center alignment. So I can have plenty of options with that. So hope the things are clear. Thank you so much for attending it. Now I am ending the session and recording. Thank you.